In a world often marked by uncertainty and loss, finding solid ground and wise guidance can feel like a lifeline. The story of Naomi and Ruth may not be a traditional leadership narrative, but it offers valuable insights applicable to leadership development. So let's dive right in. Welcome to Lesson 15. Our title today is Naomi Guides Ruth. Our key scripture comes from Ruth chapter 3 and verse 3. It says, "Therefore wash yourself and anoint yourself, put on your best garment and go down to the threshing floor. But do not make yourself known to the man until he has finished eating and drinking." Now this verse captures an important moment in Naomi's strategic guidance of Ruth. Let's quickly tell the story. Naomi, an Israelite woman, faced the devastating loss of her husband, Elimelech, and two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, while they were living in a foreign country called Moab. They had actually moved out of Bethlehem, their homeland, seeking greener pastures. Now, after the death of the men in her life, Naomi decided to return to her homeland. So she urged her Moabite daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth, to return to their families. Orpah eventually chose to return to her family, but Ruth made a powerful declaration of loyalty to Naomi, saying, "Wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried." So Naomi and Ruth returned to Bethlehem, but they returned poor. So Ruth, with Naomi's blessing, took the initiative to go and glean leftover grain in the fields so that they could sustain themselves. As God would work things out, she found herself working in the field of a man called Boaz. And Boaz was a kind and wealthy relative of Naomi's late husband. He recognized Ruth's virtuous character and her devotion to Naomi, and then he showed her great kindness. So Naomi, seeing this opportunity, understood the cultural context of their society and the possibility that their family line could still be redeemed. So she advised Ruth on how to approach Boaz at the threshing floor. And this was a significant cultural practice that could actually lead into marriage. So Ruth approached Boaz with respect and with humility. And Boaz was impressed by her character. He recognized his responsibility as a kinsman redeemer and ultimately married Ruth. They had a son who they named Obed, and Obed became the grandfather of King David, and that weaved their story into the lineage of Jesus Christ. So let's see what we can learn from this story. In section 1, Naomi's influence on Ruth's faith, our key takeaway from the story is how Naomi's resilience and faith in God in the face of loss served as a powerful example for Ruth. When Naomi spoke of returning to her people and her land, Ruth's decision to follow her was not just about loyalty to somebody. She embraced Naomi's entire world, including her God. Ruth's words, "Your God will be my God," are a direct result of Naomi's quiet witness and the bond they both shared. Naomi's influence reflected in Ruth's respectful interactions within the Hebrew community when they got to Bethlehem. And this indicates that Naomi had instilled in Ruth an understanding of the culture and faith of the Hebrews. Ultimately, the blessings that followed, which are Ruth's marriage to Boaz and the birth of Obed, were acts of God. And this itself is a testament to the faith that Naomi had nurtured in Ruth. In section 2, we see how Naomi strategically guided Ruth in God's purpose. Naomi didn't just offer emotional support. She provided practical and culturally relevant guidance. Allowing Ruth to glean in Boaz's field was a practical step towards survival, and that utilized the provisions of the Mosaic law for the poor and for foreigners. More significantly, Naomi's advice to Ruth on how to approach Boaz at the threshing floor was a strategic and culturally appropriate move to secure Ruth's future and to ensure the continuation of their family line. Her instructions were precise. She demonstrated her understanding of the Hebrew customs. So Naomi's reassurance to Ruth that things would work out reveals her faith in God's plan unfolding. Now, this strategic guidance led to Ruth fulfilling her potential and contributing to God's larger plan. So, what can we learn from this lesson about leadership. One, godly mentorship is powerful. Naomi's influence demonstrates the impact of having a faithful mentor who can guide us in our spiritual journey and our challenges. Two, empowerment and trust are required. So Naomi empowered Ruth to take action and make decisions. She didn't dictate every step to her. So effective leaders empower their followers both to take ownership and make contributions. And then three, strategic guidance leads to fulfilling purpose. Naomi's wise and timely advice helped Ruth to navigate complex social and cultural norms, and this ultimately led her to fulfill the purpose of God for her life. And lastly, faith and resilience shapes legacy. So both Naomi and Ruth faced immense loss, but their resilience and faith allowed them to overcome adversity and become part of a significant lineage. So in summary, Naomi and Ruth's story is a timeless reminder to us of the power of faith, the importance of godly mentorship, and the enduring impact of resilience. So what part of this story inspires you the most? Let's know in the comments section. Thank you for joining us today, and thanks for the over 1,000 subscribers. If you have not subscribed yet, please don't forget to. God bless you.